Okay, so here we are. Segment number 2 with this topic of time management, my favorite topic. And today we're talking about procrastination, preparation, and pulling it off. Okay? And now, if you haven't seen the first segment, please see that first before you jump on this. Okay. So we continue. The premise basically is you have to get done, not you have to, but my suggestion, get done what you could do early so that you can prepare for success. Okay? But many of us wait. Procrastination, we wait to see if we can pull it off, sort of like a game. And what happens is, as I said, a lot of times we pull it off, which a lot of people say, hooray, yeah, great, I was able to pull it off. Nobody noticed. As a matter of fact, I gained something. I gained some time. So I was supposed to be there at 1, but I got there 11:20, so I actually gained 20 minutes. Yay! I'm saying be careful. Now, when you win, remember, you have a dose of dopamine and serotonin, endorphins, and all that stuff, and they can become very addictive. Okay? And even driving to the place, you thinking you're going to be late, has that stress sort of excitement, And I often ask myself, and I actually Googled it, can we be addicted to stress? And the answer, according to some of the research that I looked into, is yes, we can. Again, because of those hormones and those neurotransmitters that pump us up. Okay? So, giving the opportunity of maybe this, especially for people that are adrenaline junkies, for this high and possibly this reward of getting 20 extra minutes or getting away with stuff, that sneakiness, with boring old, doing it right, okay, starting at 7 when I'm supposed to start, not waiting till 11, maybe boring for action-oriented people or risk takers and so on and so forth. So, they may not start at 7. And my suggestion is, as I get older, right, is that the wiser way of being is to start at 7 because of the fact that you're going to have a lot of time. Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't need time. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of time on my hand. That may be so. Not so with me and other successful people. Okay? If you are doing something, putting your life together, and you want to convert later on those dreams into reality, you're pretty much very busy. Now, we have talked about the 20-80 rule, the 80-20 rule, and how to just focus on priorities. But with this time management conversation, if you're listening to this, it's because of the fact that somehow you resonate with my message that at times we don't have enough time. And I know a lot of people, and it almost seems that this is a common mantra, I don't have enough time. And if that's the case, then let's talk and confront that. So let's go back to that addictive quality, that habitual way of being, such that we're being late. And I say that this is like a lottery player or a gambler, okay, who's addicted to the gambling and who won. Because I always say the worst thing that can happen to you in a lottery is that you win, because now you're encouraged. If you lose, then you say, you know what, this is rigged, and I'm not going to play again. The worst thing that can happen is that you win. Now you're encouraged and you're going to play more, and you're going to try to duplicate your money and so on and so forth. So the same thing happens with this time management thing. When you win, you become addicted. It becomes habitual. And again, the person can be late all the time, or irresponsible, shows up as irresponsible. And then the worst case is, just as gamblers, they don't blame themselves, they blame other people. It's not my fault, it's John's fault, it's Josh's fault, it's Mary's fault, it's Carlos's fault, not mine. Okay? So they become a little bit delusional. Okay? I have a story of one of my entertainers, amazing, gets to the, got to the job late. Customer called me like, hey, where's the entertainer? I called him. He's like 15 minutes out, 20 minutes out. He does an amazing show. He gets tipped. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Because what? He got rewarded for behavior that's something that you don't want to continue. You don't want to have that kind of habit. So guess what? We've had a problem with him getting on time. He's one of the best entertainers. But he gets there late. Not all the time. But one time that you're late, it's in my estimation, it's bad. As a matter of fact, you're not supposed to even be there late. You're supposed to be there early. Preparation for success. And I want to talk the other half of this video about that kind of preparation for success. Now, why do it differently? How to do it differently. Okay, let's start with the why. Have a purpose, right? Maybe you haven't, or I have not tried doing it the right way. We only know one way. The addictive way, let's call it. The procrastinator's way. So you have a different way, maybe a more powerful way, a way that actually takes you to success. And I always like to talk about permanent success. Not this flash in the pan success of, oh, I pulled it off kind of conversation. Not that. A different kind of conversation, which is, it got done by design. Like success got done by design. Not a pulling off conversation. Right? You understand that? Not a luck conversation. That's over here. This is on this side. Luck conversation. I'm talking about a result that happens because you designed it. Like there was preparation that went in, and you get addicted to the preparation on this side, not this setup that you have on this side, which is just trying to pull it off. Okay? So let's start with something as simple as my kids. They come home on Friday, and what used to happen was that they said, that's it. It's Friday. The weekend starts on Friday for many people, right? So they didn't do their homework. And they would do, because sometimes they don't have that many homework. So sometimes what happens was most of the time they would do their homework on Sunday. But what happened was that there might have been a family gathering, or people would come over or something, or there was a movie, and the homework would not get done. And this happened over and over and over and over. Now, why would it happen over and over? Well, that's why we spoke about the first part, which is it was a habit. And sometimes we were able to what? Pull it off. That's the problem. The pulling off part is the problem. So we started to implement that the homework gets done on Fridays. So Friday is just another day. It's a school day. So do the homework on Fridays and complete it on Friday, such that there is the setup for success. So that when Sunday comes about, it's free. You can do whatever. And knowing our life, there's not always a lot of time for anything. There's always a lot of to-dos and very little time. So also, let's say when you get into the habit of preparing, giving yourself space, okay, again, underestimating the amount of time something is going to take. So how about you preparing for work the following day? Now what happens is that you compress that time in the morning if you did not prepare, and you're going rush, and you don't do a good job, and you're rushing to work, you're stressed. But then again, are you liking that stress? Are you addicted to that stress? You follow what I'm saying? Are you addicted to the adrenaline, the serotonin, the endorphins, all these feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters? And like all people who are addicted to stuff, we don't look, we fail to look inside and we cast blame on why we're late or why we have that habit, which we don't see it as a bad habit. It's just being human. As a matter of fact, we water it down. So how about doing your, preparing your clothes the night before? Oh, Rocky, I come home late. I have so many things to do. I'll just do that in the morning when my mind is fresh. It's a setup. It's a setup for failure, is my suggestion. I say that let's get into the habit of preparing at night such that success is now more permanent in your life, and you get to experience success not like the up and down yo-yo, where sometimes you're successful, especially on this side, which is basically you're successful because you're the pulling off of the issue or the situation. You're pulling it off. What if you're not pulling it off? What if you're successful and you start to live a successful life, just that, like by design? Is there any reason? Is there any benefit? Is there any aha? Is there any breakthrough? Is there any sense of accomplishments there? And I'm going to tell you that compared to this, it's a different feeling. Compared to this is amazing because it's stable. Okay? In and of itself, it has this power. And it's very powerful. Okay? And it's very motivating to be on this side. Okay? So when you get into the habit of, in this case, doing the homework when you're supposed to do it, not when it's due, okay? And Stephen Covey talks about that, doing things that are important, but they're not urgent. Calls that the third quadrant of the things you're supposed to do. I've spoken about this before. Then you can start getting into the habit of doing your taxes, okay, early enough, okay? In the children entertainment, which I'm into, my House of Magic, my business, what happens is that people wait for the last moment to put together this huge party, okay? And very often these folks that put it off for the longest time have a disastrous party. You can see that it wasn't executed correctly, and the caterers are late, and the decoration is half done, and the guests are coming, and they're still, doing decoration. It's just, after pumping so much money. And that's the other side of it. They did not pull it off. And when you don't pull it off, it's very costly. It costs you a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy. And after you invested so much for you to have a failure, it's time for us to kind of think about that, okay? So as we wrap it up, these two segments, let's summarize. For the most part, we want to be able to maximize our time to be prepared for success, so that success comes as a design of it or a result of our design, and maybe let go of the addiction of lateness and, of trying to pull it off, that comes from procrastination and waiting, okay? I hope that you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it immensely. It has actually transformed my life. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but many times I'm doing my to-do list in the morning when I'm supposed to. I'm doing my maybe doing things that are important in the morning. I'm putting timing on my side. Okay, I'm preparing my car, or if you have a van, or if you have some preparation that you have to do, preparing your van or whatever you prepare it early, prepare it 2-3 days before, and start to give that a chance. And then we can talk about your success. And I bet you that you'll stop this yo-yo success. Now you have success, now you don't, and this pulling off, and now you're going to start experience this permanent success. Okay? Thank you for being here with 15 Minutes with Rocky. Remember, common sense guide to a possible better life. Thank you for watching.